Hello and good afternoon, Detroit. Thank you so much for tuning in to Beauty in the D, hosted by yours truly, Miss Stephanie, where we discuss power, wealth, and style. I love that song every time I hear it. Shout out to Sparrow, Rest in Heaven. You are watching Beauty in the D live streaming on YouTube and other media platforms later on. We would like you to follow, share, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching WJZZ Cool TV. I want to give a special shout out to our sponsors, Miss Giovanni McCall, also known as G, the short hair slayer, located inside the Mark Roberts Hair Salon in Southfield, Michigan. Our next sponsor is Mina Martinez Marketing, who handles all of my social media marketing. And last but not least, finally, this show is powered by the London Consulting Firm. We have our special guest today, Miss Miranda Mara Bartel, and the phone is blowing up already. Let's see who the caller is. Hello, caller.
Tanisha Wilson.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Am I the fifth caller?
You're not the fifth caller. You're our first caller. Good afternoon. Who am I speaking with?
Tanisha Wilson.
Hey, good afternoon. How you doing, Miss Tanisha Wilson?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Great. Well, you called at the right time. We were in the middle of introducing our extraordinary guest today, Miss Miranda Mara Bartel, where we
Hi,
say,
Miranda.
Hello, Miss Tanisha Wilson. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm awesome. You enjoying this weather today?
Yeah, it is what it is.
so Tanisha, the subtitle of the show is obviously Beauty in the D, but it's Power, Wealth, and Style. And I wanted to introduce Miranda as the definition of beauty, power, wealth, and style. And you called in, I guess, at the right time. Do you have any questions for her?
Well, I do want to say I agree that she is definitely someone who fits that description, and she represents us very well in the city of Detroit. And I'm proud to be a friend of hers and a friend of yours. So my real question today, ladies, I just want to know, when is Salt, Pepper, and Cinderella going to be out again?
When it's Salt and Pepper and Cinderella?
Mm-hmm.
You have to stay tuned, because you'll be there too, Spin.
Well, thank you very much,
right.
Tanisha, for all those kind words. I definitely appreciate you.
Thank you, Miranda. And thank you, Stephanie. You guys have an awesome Saturday. I'll see you soon.
All right. Thanks for
All right.
tuning in.
Mm-hmm. Bye-bye.
All right. All right, Detroit. So back to our introduction. That was really cool, though, our first call in. Miranda, you do so much. I don't even know where to start, but I do want to start with congratulations on your recent graduation and the fact that you did it with straight A's and still managed to be a boss, entrepreneur, loving wife, loving mother. Let's talk about that. I want to talk because that's the most recent accomplishment. That's a great way to go into 24.
Yeah, it is a very recent accomplishment. I just graduated about probably 3-4 weeks ago in December, and it was very exciting to just for completion, you know. Sometimes, you know, we don't think about things that we need to complete of things that we've gotten started on, right? Mm-hmm. So last year, you know, we always make New Year's resolutions. And, you know, I didn't really have a big resolution, really, but I said, you know what, I'm going to make this year a year of completion. And I thought about, I said, what is the oldest thing that I have not completed yet? And I said, I haven't completed my degree at Wayne State. Because, you know, when I worked at Ford Motor Company, probably about 15, 16 years ago, I worked at Ford Motor Company. And so Ford actually pretty much paid for me going to school, right? Okay. And so, but when Ford started taking the downturn before we went into the big recession of the housing crisis, Ford started transitioning to the point to where I had to keep dropping my classes. I dropped my classes probably at least 4 semesters straight. So really, I probably should have graduated probably 15 years ago, actually, you know what I'm saying? Okay. If not sooner than that. But I didn't, and come to find out, I needed 22 credits left to graduate. My daughter always asks, Mom, when are you going to go back and get your degree? When are you going to go back to get your degree? But
that
you know,
was like kind of your motivation.
Well, it was kind of my motivation, but you know, we always put our kids first. Yes, you know what I'm saying? Providing and striving for our kids, right? Yeah. And making sure that they do what it is that we still did not do, okay? Because we know what, you know what I'm saying, the repercussions are, right? Yeah. We know that, right? So, you know, but it was nothing for me because being a real estate agent and then a broker, it's kind of like, I was making good money already. So I
And
did not
that's where I wanted to
need
go with that.
I did not need the degree, you know what I'm saying? But the
Yes.
degree still is great to have if you have it. And especially with me being so close to it,
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Let me finish this off. So I called Wayne State University in January, right? And found out that, that I needed 22 credits to graduate. So I calculated that up, pulled these little fingers out or whatever. I said, okay, that's about 8 classes. So I called an advisor to try to see if they could help me get a schedule because I could remember when I was at Ford Motor Company, it was kind of hard for me to take a lot of classes at once. Sometimes it was hard for me to even take 3 classes, if not 2 classes, because I was at the end of my degree program. So I knew I didn't need many more classes left, right? It was just the process of going back, right? So they told me I needed those 22 credits, girl. So I said, well, advisor, I need you to, her name was Jacqueline. I said, Miss Jacqueline, I need you to assist me in getting these classes. I need to graduate by the end of the year. My goal is not to continue on for a whole year because my patience is very thin. And, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like,
That's a lot, Miranda.
yeah. So I had her to book me 5 classes.
Ooh.
I took 5 classes in the spring accelerated course. So May 5th through June 27th, I took 5 classes. I completed them. I got straight A's, right?
Straight A's.
And so I needed 3 more classes left. I said, okay, I got this. So I had a month off of a break, and I started to go straight on through and take the remaining of classes over the summer. I took spring, but summer would have overlapped with my spring. They would have started somewhere like June 15th.
Okay.
And then I would have still had to have my finals and all that stuff going into my new classes. So I said I didn't want to do that, right? So yeah, so fall semester, I took my last 3 classes, and it was they were very good classes. And actually, really, I learned a lot just being back in school. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And there was a lot of information that I did not know that I actually learned. But I'm gonna tell you this right now, okay? I was very discombobulated. I couldn't go nowhere. When I tell you I could not go anywhere, I could not go
22
anywhere at
credits
all.
is a lot. And so I want to go back to what you said. Hey, I'm in real estate, I'm making money. Because for people on the outside looking in, including myself, it's like, okay, she has it all together, like she's living her best life. And to go back 15 years later and then knock it out with straight A's. Do you know
Yes.
how inspiring that is? I hope you're inspiring somebody that's watching right now. Like, you can do it. You know
You
what I
can
mean?
do
You
it.
can do it.
But you're even more focused now. The older you get, you're more focused. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I had the young kids coming to me asking me how to do something because they know I'm sitting in the front of the class. Every class that I had to go to
Right.
in person,
Right.
I sit right in front of the class, raise my hand, and answer all the questions or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you have to go off of participation as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if I were to mess up on anything, at least I got some participation points, right? So.
Right, give me some credit for asking
Yes,
questions.
give me some credit
I
for
know
asking
that's
these
right.
questions, right?
Uh-huh.
But it was a very good opportunity to go back.
great
And my
sacrifice.
daughter, I would ask her, I said, show me how to do XYZ, XYZ. She says, listen, I'm about to set you up a calendar, okay? I said, okay. So one day she came in and she went to Michigan State. She had already graduated with her bachelor's and working on her master's, right?
And to
so,
talk a shout out to her.
Yes.
A mother and a daughter graduating on the same day. I have to say that. I got to shout that part
Actually, it was the same weekend. She graduated
same
on
weekend.
Friday at Michigan State, and I went to her graduation, and then I graduated on Saturday from Wayne State
I
University.
know your household was just jumping.
Yes,
okay?
we was jumping. We was overjoyed and
And the
happy about it.
holidays.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the holidays and everything. So yeah, but I said, I need you to show me how to
So she got
do
your
X, Y, Z
calendar.
because I didn't know how to maneuver Wayne State's platform.
Okay.
They had a whole full platform, everything asynchronized. Oh my God, that's a whole new worm right there, asynchronous. The asynchronous is where the teachers don't even teach the class really. They give you something that they talk on a video,
Okay.
and you look at a pre-recorded video, and you do your homework off the pre-recorded video.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't even
I
ask no
know.
questions. And if I do ask some questions, they're going to get back to me 2 or 3 days later. And, I'm a spontaneous kind of person. I like to do things
That's
and get it
fresh.
done.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? That's right. If you give me any kind of task to do, like when I work with my clients, I do it and I get it done so that way I can move to the next. You
Move
know
to
what
the
I'm saying?
next. I
So
was
that
that
way
way.
nothing gets lost.
That's right. That's right.
But
Nothing gets lost
my
in the
daughter made
sauce.
that calendar for me, girl. She came and asked me one day. She says, "Mom, did you do your work assignment for this class and this class?" I said, "What assignment?" She says, "You have something due tonight." I said, "Oh my God! Oh, I'm all frantic and everything.
Yeah.
And so I got it done. Hey, I
got
will
it
complete.
done.
I turned in every assignment on time, never late.
Well, that's how you got the straight A's.
That's right. That's how I got it.
Beauty and brains. Okay. So let's talk about how you got from Ford Motor Company to the land bank to where you. It's like I said. We might have to do a part two because it's just so much to you. Okay. Let's start briefly. From Ford Motor Company to. How did you even get off into the real estate in the first place?
Well, I transitioned. I started transitioning. I would say my 6th year at Ford Motor Company, okay? I said I wanted to do 10 years and out. That's why I was in school going to Wayne State University because I wanted to do 10 years and out, right? That was my goal. But I did not see it being possible, especially when they started transitioning the whole company around and I had to keep dropping my classes. So I said, you know what? I got to get out of here. Right, and so I said because Ford is not for me. I made good money or whatever.
What
It's
did
a
you
great
do that
stepping
for?
stone. I used to put the car, some pieces together on the truck on the expeditions. Okay.
You did production?
I did production, girl, okay? I was running that line too, okay? I had so much to do. I had to evac the air seat, AC out, knock the scuff plates down, put the screw covers over the hood, the engine cover, whatever. I had to do so much, right? And then I did that for 5 years, and then I went to a parts plant. It was so boring at the parts plant, I wanted to go back over here where I was working hard at, right? But the thing is that I was at an easy plant, and they did a lot of nitpicking, and so I was like, I got to hurry and get out of here. So my 4 years before my 10 years there at Ford, because I did 10 years and out as a retirement, right?
Okay.
You could retire at 10 years. So the 4th year, I went to real estate school because I knew I wanted to get out, right? But girl, that test gave me such a bad headache. When I tell you I had a migraine headache out of this world, just taking the exam in the class over at Middleton, because Middleton, they make sure that you pass that test, okay?
They do.
But I had such a bad migraine headache, I didn't even go back and take the state exam, right? So I waited again another 2 years, so I had to go back to school again at Middleton, and then I finally passed
took the
it.
class again?
Took the whole class all over again. I passed the class, and I went and took my license. I did not pass the state license the first time. I passed it the second time, though, okay? Because they tell you exactly what it is that you messed up on. So I tell everybody, if you fret about, not passing the first time, you got to go back while it's fresh. Go
Yeah.
back within 3 or 4 days while that information is fresh, and you will pass it, okay? But my broker's exam, I passed that on the first try. Of course, because I'm already in the field of practicing, right?
Right.
And if you don't pass that on the first try, something's got to be wrong. Maybe you need to study a little bit
Right.
more before you go get your broker's license,
Because
right?
that means that you have been in
You're
the
not really
industry.
ready yet.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I did that. So I got my license 2 years before I left Ford Motor Company. So I was working full time at Ford and then working part time doing
How did you
real
find
estate.
time to do that and be a mom and
Listen, I work out while I'm at work, okay, and that's my extra energy.
Okay.
My workouts give me my energy and my vitamins. I take my vitamins every day, and I get my workouts in. And I was working
we
out,
know you love
at the
to
gym.
work out.
Oh, I love
that's
to
why
work
you
out.
look so good.
I love to work out.
So you were working out, and then you were like scheduling showings.
Showings, yes. I was scheduling showings. So my schedule at work kind of like fluctuated. I will work sometimes 2 days a days and 2 days a nights or whatever.
Okay,
I
okay.
was 4 days a week. And then even if I was 5 days a week, switch off to a different schedule, then I was on days or I was on nights, and I get up and in the daytime I show houses. If I get off of work or whatever, I go show houses at nighttime and on the weekends. So
You was a hustler.
oh yeah, girl, I even had a hot dog stand. You don't want to know all of it, okay? I still have my hot dog stand, but listen, let me tell you, I used to sing "Get Your World's Best Hot Dogs and Sausages." I used to do a Yola call. I was at the warehouse clubs. You know when you had the warehouse clubs. So I had
Yeah.
at the warehouse clubs. I had hot dog stands at the warehouse clubs, right? And
This
over
was
at Home
during Ford,
Depot.
too?
This was before Ford. This is before Ford.
Okay.
Okay. And I used to sing "Get Your World's Best Hot Dogs and Sausages,"
Mm-hmm.
and crispy nachos and chips, ice cold pop. Girl, them people used to come running, and they would just come out there just to have a conversation, bring their whole family to have hot dogs
And
with
get a
them.
hot dog. My father had this saying. He always say, "Bosses are born, not made."
That's right.
You either are
That's right.
or you not.
You either
From the-
are or you not.
bossed up from the hot dog stand at the Home Depot to, I know you was getting that money
And hot
at
dogs
Ford.
and hot dog stands. Let me tell you, I can make $2,000 to $3,000 a day on a hot dog stand. and my cost would be about $250. My
What?
cost is $250.
So who was working the hot dog stand? Who
I would
served
have
the hot
somebody. I would
dog?
have somebody work the hot dog stands, and I'll pay them about $200 or $300 a day to work that hot dog stand for me.
Wow.
And sometimes I will work the hot dog stand if they didn't show
If
up.
they didn't show. So anybody that's out there thinking about how to get their grind on, how to get their hustle on, I hope you are listening to this show. It's no reason for somebody not to be getting money out here. You just
None.
named like 3 different hustles right there, just telling the story.
Telling the story,
Just telling the
girl.
story. Okay, so you started showing the houses, you got into real estate. Eventually, you said bye bye to Ford.
I said bye bye to Ford. I took the buyout or whatever, and then I went and started investing that buyout money. I didn't go blow it. I went and invested and bought some properties. I was getting properties that was normally $250,000 for $10 and $12 and
Wow.
$15,000.
What year was that?
Okay, that was in 2007, 2006, 8.
And that's when what we
That's
hit,
when we
it
hit the
bottomed out?
recession. We
Okay.
bottomed out, and they were not, and the lenders was not doing any loans. They were only doing
you need
cash.
cash.
So, honey, that cash came in handy. Picked up about 4 properties. Okay, had them rehab. I also did a 203K, which allows you to fix that property up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So
Explain that real quick to at the 203 real
Okay,
quick.
203K. What it does is that it allows you to take out a loan when you do take out a loan, or even if you did a refi or whatever the case may be, you can pull the money out and then fix the property up on your own. But a 203K allows you to buy appliances. I mean, completely fix the whole house up. They actually would appraise the property for the after repair value. So whatever that
Gotcha.
after repair value is, that's the money on the difference amount of your loan to your rehab money that they're willing to loan you, and you get draws on it.
Okay.
So and they give you those draws to make sure that you're fixing
Doing
that
what you're supposed
property
to
up.
do. Does this have to
Exactly.
be a primary residence, or can you
It
do
could
this
be
with an
no
investment
property as well.
Okay.
Investment, yes,
Okay, you just taught me something.
yes,
I hope
it's
y'all
an
hear that,
investment
Detroit.
property as well.
Wow. Okay. So you got the 4 properties. Did you flip them, rent them, what?
Girl, listen, I rented them out, okay, because the market was bad. Then I eventually started land contracting some of them out,
So
okay.
you helping
And then
somebody
yes.
else become a homeowner.
Become a homeowner because they couldn't get a mortgage. So what I did, I still have one currently right now.
From then?
Yes, I have one left from then. But the thing is, I sold everything else, okay,
You
because I
hold
don't
that
want
for
to be a
sentimental
landlord.
value because of
No, I don't want to be a landlord.
okay.
I don't want to be a landlord. I will buy and flip. Okay, so that's the goal. So like right now, I'm doing a project with someone, and we're fixing it up. And as a matter of fact, it's in the university district, and we'll be flipping that. Probably it'll be coming on the market probably by Monday.
Okay.
Yes, so buying and flipping is something that I like to do. Some people don't mind being a landlord, but I'm too busy doing everything else.
Right.
Sitting on different boards. I sit
talk
on
about that.
I sit on Detroit Land Bank Authority.
so what do you do for Detroit
so
Land Bank?
actually, I'm a board member.
Okay.
Okay, and so the board member just pretty much is at the meetings to advise and to understand, and also to make sure that the community is being taken care of in the
Okay.
best manner possible. Because sometimes, the community just really feel left out of the decision making that's going on in the city of Detroit,
Absolutely.
especially with the homes that's next door to them. You know what I'm saying? Or the community that they're at. What's coming into my community? And you guys, are you allowing this? So pretty much they'll come to the board meetings themselves or whatever. They'll come to the city council
How does
meetings.
the community know about the land bank meetings? Because, and I say that because I have heard in passing with people, they say things about the land bank, and they're like, they let all these people who don't reside in the city pick up and purchase all these properties
So we have 3 different meetings, okay, out the month, right?
every month.
Every month,
Okay.
okay, except for in December. December we're off, and in January we're pretty much off because we kind of like work with the city council's meetings as well. So when the city council is down, we kind of are down also,
Okay.
But the meetings are always advertised on social media networks. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and on our website.
So just
okay?
go to
You can just
landbank.com or
go
just
to
Detroit Land
landbank.com,
Bank?
DetroitLandBank.org.
Okay.
And so you go on there, and you come to any meeting, and you could be able to speak and voice your concerns, whatever it is that you have a concern about.
Do you guys get
And
many attendees to these meetings?
we get attendees sometimes, a lot of times on Zoom, because we are still on Zoom also.
Oh,
But of
okay.
course, the board meetings have to be in person now,
Okay.
since COVID is over and everything. But we still do allow attendees to come in on Zoom, and you could come in person.
Okay, that's good
Yeah.
to know.
Hmm.
Any good advice to citizens about the land bank and how it
Well,
works?
I say just stay persistent, you know what I'm saying, but understand what you're getting into, you know what I'm saying?
Because there
You're
is a
getting
time
into
limit on these
there is a
properties,
time
right?
limit, but as long as you are being transparent and with the land bank and letting them know your steps and processes, they don't take the property away. They don't want the property back, okay? They honestly don't. They don't want the property back, but they don't want your property to continue to be an eyesore to the next door neighbor. That's why
Yeah,
they sold
it
it to
defeats the
you. It
purpose.
defeats the
I
purpose.
get that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can get is it possible? My brain is going. You got me going. Is it possible to get a 203K loan for some of those land bank properties?
Well, you know what? I just ran into someone who actually he has he does do loans for land bank properties. Okay, the thing about lenders doing a loan for land bank properties normally is because land banks takes first position.
Okay,
Okay, all right. So that way, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, it
they get it
reverts back
back.
to the land bank, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but if the lender who says that they're willing to do loans now for land bank properties, okay, I don't know the lender's name offhand, but I just had a conversation with him because he's investing in buy properties also. So he do purchase some land bank properties with this loan that he does. Okay,
Wow.
yes.
So is he
So
like a hard money lender?
he's a hard money lender also and a traditional lender, both.
Okay.
He does both.
Wow. Girl,
Yes.
you keep the hook
Yes, so
up.
he does. Let me tell you, they call me the networker,
You
okay?
are. You the
Because
networker, the influencer, and all of that.
yes, they call me the networker. Sometimes my phone constantly ring just by people calling me, asking me questions or asking me, do you have this person's phone number or do you know somebody that does this or that or whatever,
Because I'll be calling you about this
So,
guy.
and that's my consultation, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's Four Seasons consultation.
Let's talk about Four Seasons.
Four Seasons consultation. You got Four Seasons consultation. You got Four Seasons realty, and you have Four Seasons development. Okay,
Okay.
so and I'm getting ready to have Four Seasons travel as well. Four
Wow.
Seasons is all the way around,
I love it.
all year long is what we
Very
do. That's why
fitting.
it's Four Seasons.
That's
We
right.
here spring, summer, fall, and winter.
I love it.
I'm here to serve.
Okay. So you're a developer too.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about the development. You're a woman. You just, girl, you got so many hats that you wear.
Yeah.
How long would you say you? Well, really, I guess you consider yourself a developer once you had bought those four properties and
Yes,
started rehabbing them.
exactly.
That's the day really you became a developer.
Yes, so that's your smaller scale of development, right? Of
Mm-hmm.
just getting fresh off. And I tell anybody, whoever wants to become a developer, is to start that off first. Start off on a smaller scale 1st
Mm-hmm.
because it could be more than what you biting off into. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have an apartment building currently right now in Cleveland, Ohio. That I'm developing, so that's a process, you know what I'm saying? And I'm in NARAB, the National Association of Real Estate
Yes.
Brokers,
Shout out to
and a
NARAB.
past president of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, local board here in Detroit, Michigan, which is Greater Detroit Realtors Association. So being the past president, and during my time of my tenure, we brought in UDC, United Developers Council, which is an affiliate of NARAB, right?
Right.
And
I
so
didn't
when
realize
we
that was under your tenure that we got introduced to. UPC.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So it was underneath my tenure that we got introduced to UDC, right? And so that's just how long we've been doing the UDC. So right now, this will be our 5th year here going because we had to skip a year due to COVID. So, but this coming year will be our 5th year. In October, will be our 5th year for UDC. Okay.
Okay.
So, but the thing is that you just really have to understand that you don't want to bite off more than what you could chew off, right? Just starting off on a small scale is the best thing to do, okay? Because right now, even this 16-unit apartment building, which has 5 storefronts down and below, it takes up almost a whole block. This building that I have, right?
Wow.
It's not a big project, but it is a big project, okay? Because it's gonna take a lot of money to have it developed. It has to be gutted from the rooter to the tutor.
How many units? I mean,
It's
actual
16
units.
apartment. It's 16 apartment units. Okay, there's like 6 two-bedroom units and then one bed. I mean, and then the remaining is the 1-bedroom units, right?
Okay.
But what I really want to do for it is do something for VA. Or do
Yeah.
something for the returning citizens coming back into society.
That's a good
Okay,
plan.
but also have the services down below that's going to actually help and assist them instead of them having to go far away because they don't have the transportation
Yep.
to get there.
Yep.
Now, if it's VA, I would love to have a house, a VA facility down below, so now that way they could come and have their services down below for those
Absolutely.
citizens
And they deserve
upstairs.
that.
They do, but not only that, it won't even just only service those that stay in the apartment buildings of the building. It'll also service other people in the community who are VA.
Yeah. That's awesome. Um,
I have dreams. I have big
I
dreams. I have big
see.
goals. You know what I'm saying? And I still have to finish my vision board for this year. My family and I, we're going to set one day aside in February and get our vision board done. Probably the first
Yes.
week in February. We were going to do it this month, but so many people had so many things that they
Yep.
was being pulled
Yep.
to. So I have a busy
Yes.
family too.
Yeah. Yes, you do. You come from a very, very busy family. My daughter and I, we do that as well. We haven't done it for this year yet, but that's a good, to me, that's a good family sit-down activity to do where you just dream together.
It is.
And put it out there. And I didn't accomplish everything on my dream board, neither did London, but we did accomplish something. So then
That's
now
the
you
point.
just push it over to
And to the
this
next
year.
year. Exactly, exactly. And say, this is what I still need to do.
Yeah.
But the thing is that the beauty about it is that you get to understand where everybody's head's at. You know what I'm saying? What your thoughts are. You know what I'm saying?
that. I love
Because the
that.
thing is that if you don't do it, you don't know. I don't know what direction my husband is going into. He don't know what
Right.
direction I'm going into, right?
So, how do you
and
have
same with
time
my
with your
kids.
husband, like to be a wife? Because your husband, shout out to Mr. Partell, he is super busy.
We pass ships in the night.
As, I mean,
We pass ships
businesses,
in the night.
restaurant, clothing stores, real estate projects.
Yeah, we pass
I'm
ships through the
tired of
night.
talking about it.
You so silly.
I mean, really.
We pass ships through the night, though, you know. And the thing is that we both understand that we both are busy people. We both understand we both are entrepreneurs,
Yeah, yeah.
and you have to be able to understand each other's lifestyle in order to be able to work with one another. You know what I'm
Please
saying?
give us some tips on that. And I say that because, I mean, traditionally, a lot of women who are married to men like your husband, they're not as ambitious as you. No dig or shade or anything like that, but that's just the truth. They probably think about, where am I going to shop? Where we going to vacation? What we eating tonight?
Oh, don't get me wrong. Now I
You
shop
know.
and I vacation
I mean,
now.
we know that goes without saying, but you ball, baby. You ball hard.
I enjoy vacationing.
Yes, you do. Yes.
I enjoy
and,
it.
And like I said, you are the epitome of the subtitle of the show, which is Power, Wealth, and Style. You have style for days. Okay, so I'm
Thank
not
you.
taking that from you. I'm giving all that to you and saying you still manage to balance all of this.
Yeah, I do.
So-
I don't watch TV though. I'm gonna say that.
Okay, that's
I'm not a
something I
TV
didn't know about
watcher.
you.
I'm not a TV watcher, so it's very rare that I would sit back and watch a movie. And my husband, he likes to watch TV, right?
Okay.
So, but I'm like, I don't have time for it. I'm too busy doing everything else.
Yeah,
You know,
you are.
I'm sitting at the computer doing something here or there, and then I mean, and the thing is, a lot of people thinks that my daughter says, because I go to a lot of concerts, right? And so she says, I know people probably wonder, when does she work? I'm like, I work all day long, but I pride myself in giving myself the opportunity to relax and have enjoyment of either a good comedy show or some good music somewhere, you know what I'm saying, out at a concert and gathering with my friends and family at times, you know what I'm saying? So
how you
I work
prioritize
hard
and
and I
time
play
manage?
harder. Well, sometimes, even like if I'm going on vacation, I'm still working sometimes. I could work from my phone. I could work from my phone. Sometimes if I get an email to come over and I need to get it over real quick, I'll download it, upload it, get that phone, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I have two phones now. So that way I can balance with life and, you know what I'm saying, and work. And I've had these two phones now for 3 years. And the thing is that when I first got my second phone, my husband was like, that doesn't make sense. What you get the next phone for, whatever, right? And so I said, it does make sense. I said, because I need to set this one down sometimes. Because if it rings in front of me, I'm going to answer it. So anyone who's close to me, who knows me or whatever, you know what I'm saying, They have my personal number. I keep all my business, my clients on my business phone number, because that phone will ring at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes, because if they call on a sign, one of my real estate signs,
Yeah.
it'll ring to my cell phone, and they're calling in the wee hours of the morning just to get a recording of some information, and they're calling my cell phone. You see what I'm saying? So
Got
I would
you.
just set that
Yeah.
phone. So now when I go out or something, I'll set it or leave it at home sometimes. I won't even bring it in. I won't even put it in my purse. I'll just leave it and just have the one that's I know the family needs to contact me on.
Right. So that helps with that balance right there. Too.
That
So
helps
it
with that
doesn't
balance.
Lap over into.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't have the balance though, because as far as working so much when I'm at home. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I don't really shut it down too much, but I need to, figure that out. And I said I was going to start going to the office more, at the actual office instead of my home office, because, we work from home too,
Yeah.
So my home office, I could sit there and be working all day. But I love what I do.
Right.
When you
have
love
a
what you
passion
do,
Yep.
you don't have a problem. It's not work,
just do
really. I'm
it.
just doing it,
I say that all
I'm
the
not
time.
going out nowhere. I'm not watching TV. Sometimes I have to tell myself, stop. Call somebody, ask them what's a good movie that you can watch. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So are you
So-
still showing properties?
Oh, yes. I'm still showing properties. And you know what? I tell everybody, what goes up must come down. So the market slowed down a little bit while I was at school. God is so good, girl. Let me tell you. God knows when you're supposed to be occupied doing something else, because something else slowed down to put you in place for another opportunity.
Amen.
To put you in place for another opportunity,
Yes.
right? And I'm going to tell you what that other opportunity is in a minute, all right?
Okay.
And so, so of course, things have slowed down while I was in school in the fall semester. I'll say stuff started slowing down kind of like in August, September, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Deals were sporadic. I mean, I had probably about 20 listings on the market. I need the buyers. Buyers wasn't buying like that. You know what I'm saying? Because the interest rates were so low,
Yeah.
so high.
So high.
And so now the interest rates are going down. And so, honey, I got 4 deals closing by the end of the month into the first of the month, right? Only because the interest rate just started back going down, like I would say probably like January the 7th.
Okay.
They started dipping down. And they're going to keep on trickling down, because one thing that we always know, you have to pay attention to the market, okay? And if you pay attention to the market, and I learned this I took a mortgage broker's class, because I was working on getting my mortgage broker license also. I passed the class on it. I just hadn't went and got it yet, because I went back to school at Wayne State University. So...
Goals.
So I do have
Hashtag
my NMLS number though.
Okay,
I do
okay,
have that.
okay.
So if I want to go back and just take the class just to get my certificate and then go take the state exam, I can.
Okay.
But I will have to take the class over again, because I took it last December. Took it last December, and it expires in 3 months,
Okay.
in 90 days.
So you want all the money.
So I want it all. I mean, listen, it's all low-hanging fruit. That's what I'll call it, right?
I love it.
All low-hanging fruit, so you might as well get it.
Yeah.
But what goes up must come down. And what people don't understand is that when I took that mortgage brokers class, talking about the transition and the timing of everything and how the market comes up and how it goes down. And so right now, it's a presidential race. And I was telling everyone, I said, buy now, buy now, buy now. Because what you're able to do is turn around and refi that house when the market rates do go down. When the interest rates go down, now you can refi. But guess what? When you bought high, you did not fight to try to get a property. You didn't have highest and best appraisal guarantees and all that stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't constantly getting outbidded. Because what you have to pay attention to also, a lot of people either like FHA loans, or a lot of people just cannot get a conventional loan because they don't qualify for it, right? But even some people that do qualify conventional, for whatever reason, the lender sometimes put them in an FHA mortgage, or that buyer just want to go into FHA mortgage because they think the interest rates are better. Or they think that the down payment amount is better.
less, right.
Is less. No, it's not. You could get a 3% conventional interest rate. You see what I'm saying? You get a 5% interest rate, 3%, whatever the case may be. But the thing is this: you have to understand also that all the money that's out here to help and assist you on
Those
down payment
grants.
assistance. So
Yes.
buy now while the interest rates are high, and turn around and refi now. That $2,500 mortgage that you have, when the interest rates drop back down again to the 4 and 3s and 2s that we had at one point, you're gonna have a mortgage of $1,600 a month instead of $2,500 a month because now
Ooh.
you're the refi.
So how long do you have to wait to refi
You
after
can
you
refi
purchase one?
tomorrow if you want to.
Okay. Okay. That's I haven't learned.
Listen, as long as you don't have a penalty of paying your mortgage off sooner than the date that you're supposed to pay it off. Them
Okay.
30 years. And,
Okay.
and these days you don't have penalties unless you go into a hard money deal.
Got you. So the four properties that you have closing at the end of this month, are these residential properties or
These are
commercial properties?
residential properties.
Okay, because you do it all.
I
Some
do.
people have a niche
I do
where they
residential
just-
and commercial,
Okay.
and I kind of like keep a mix. Some people says I'd rather just do commercial. Some people, don't know how to do commercial and will do residential only. But I like both. But the thing is about commercial takes longer to close.
Okay.
It's more, um, you know, it's more. I'm trying to think of the right word for it. It's more of a difficult process, I would say. Sometimes you need to get attorneys involved in it. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
It's not as easy as a process because you got to go for environmentals, you got to go for site plans, you got to all that stuff or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I've even had one building to where we had to go dig up the ground and pull a big old oil tank out of an apartment building.
Wow.
Okay, because I was the listing agent, of course, on it, and the owner didn't know it was an oil tank stored up underneath the concrete of the parking lot. He had to have the whole parking lot dug up before we could close on
Wow, and he
it to
probably
make sure
owned it
that there's no.
forever, huh?
He owned it for a pretty long time, for at least 20 years.
And never knew that.
But that community, and back in the day, we had oil being supplied
Wow.
for for heat.
So literally, he was sitting on a gold mine.
No, it was sludge inside the tank.
Oh, okay.
It was sludge. It was all sludge. So thank God didn't no oil leak out of that oil, because when I tell you it was huge, it was huge. It was almost the size of a tanker.
Oh wow.
It was a big oil tank up underneath there.
Wow.
So it wasn't a gas station that was there. It was just an apartment building that had, and it used oil.
Oh, gotcha.
And the only way the appraiser saw that and knew is because there was a spigot on the side of the building. He knew what that spigot was.
Well, that was a good appraiser.
Yeah. Now, see, if I would have known that, I would have had that spigot removed. But I didn't know.
Right. So what can people expect when they come to you at Four Seasons, like as far as they're shopping for a property? What type of properties because obviously you're probably not selling land bank properties. What can they expect when they call Four Seasons?
I'm going to say that you could definitely expect to get educated. You're going to know what you're doing. Okay, you're going to expect transparency. Okay, because once again, I'm very transparent about the process of purchasing, because I want you to understand what it is that you did. I don't want to just tell you what you're going to do. I want you to understand what you just did, and I want you to understand and know that you have a loyal and dedicated real estate broker here that's going to make sure that you are walked through the full process and understand exactly what it is that you know that you want to be doing. So now your next home that you're going to buy is going to be a breeze for you, and you're going to understand what it is that you're doing all over again. But I let all my clients know. I had a closing yesterday, and I tell them, I say, just because this is done right here now doesn't mean that you can't call me and ask me questions about this same deal years from now.
I like how you set it up too. You said for your next property. You're barely getting them in this one. They just the ink's not even wet, and you're
They ain't
already
wet at all.
prepping them for the
Prepping
next
for the
one.
next one, because I
love
already
it.
know that they're going to want something bigger and better. You know what I'm saying? And although the majority of my clients are pretty much in a price point, I would say $250 and on up.
Okay.
I've sold some $1 million properties
250
as
and
well.
up. Gotcha. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
250 is pretty much on my lower end. I do some leases also. Not that many leases. I do mainly commercial leases,
Gotcha.
and I do commercial sales,
So-
and I sell land.
And you sell land, so you can
I do it
sell
all.
dirt too.
Sell dirt too. Dirt is wonderful to sell.
Speaking of dirt, let's talk about the avenue of fashion. You are such an intricate part of that, and it's such Even Time Magazine has talked about our avenue of fashion. I mean,
Yes,
it really has helped put Detroit on the
it
map.
has. It really
And it's
has.
always busy. I don't care. When you, you know what I'm saying? It's
It
always busy. I mean, I
has.
love eating at all. I'm from Cuzzo's, Good Times, Petty Cash. You know, let's talk about that because
Yeah.
it's so. Thank you.
Well, I have actually sold, listed and sold. I probably listed probably about 15 properties up and down the Avenue of Fashion, and I probably sold altogether probably 20, 25 properties up and down the Avenue of Fashion,
Wow.
and and I give it all credits to my family who utilizes my skills as well. The Bartels, and they're very integral up and down the Avenue of Fashion, and definitely knows what they want to do as far as developing the community, and
Yes.
bringing that community back. Because at one point, there was nothing but bars on the windows, to where it makes you afraid. Like, should I be in this neighborhood or not? You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you one story here, okay? When I moved over in the area, and my husband opened up Simply Casual on Livernois, there was
Tell the
the
people what Simply Casual is.
Simply Casual clothing store. It's right there at Livernois and Outer Drive, 19400 Livernois Avenue. And we have a clothing store, men and women clothes. And so when he moved over there, he took all his bars down, regardless of all the break-ins that he kept on having starting off, right? And so he went up and down the block and asked everybody else, start taking their bars down, take your bars down, take your bars down. It wasn't that many people on the block because it's very kind of like vacant or whatever.
Yeah.
That's how I was able to sell so many properties up and down Avenue of Fashion, right? He got the police departments involved, got the community involved, as far as asking the police to start riding and scouting the Avenue of Fashion, and that's what they did for the business owners, to try to make sure they keep the break-ins down.
So that wow, he's very instrumental in
Very
that.
instrumental in
I
the
had
whole
no
full
idea.
process of getting the Avenue of Fashion developed.
Okay.
Yes. So he made sure that he do that, and so now he started off. Now they're down at Petty Cash, and now they were working on another property also next to the brewery. But that building there, I have that building listed. It's like 6,000 square feet, honey, and a full basement about 3,000 square feet, and it's an upstairs where you can have a terrace. Okay, we have all the blueprints and all that stuff already done for it, and right now that building is selling for 725,000.
Wow.
725, and it's right in the heart of everything that's
Yes, it
happening on the
is.
Avenue of Fashion. And when I tell you the Avenue of Fashion is banging, it's something going on all the time.
It is.
And I give it up for Independent Business Association. Independent Business Association, my husband's the president of that organization, right? And it's all the black business owners throughout the city of Detroit who wants to be a part and make some things happen in the city of Detroit.
Yes, I definitely need to get my membership.
Yes,
We'll talk. No,
you
really.
do.
I'm not just saying that. Yeah, I heard in Detroit. I'm joining. Okay.
Yes.
So I think every black business owner should join this organization.
Right.
Our organization partnered with you guys
Exactly.
and did a party last December.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. So let's talk
But one
about
thing, what
that.
you have to understand though is this, okay? Being in an organization, you can't just say I'm gonna join an organization. You have to put some work in.
Yes.
Have to put some work in order to get something out of it. If you don't put work in, what you gonna get out of it?
That's
It's
right.
almost like using an ATM card. If you ain't got no money in the bank, you put
What
that
you take
ATM
out?
card in.
What you gonna
Well, you
take
can't
out?
take nothing out of it.
That's right.
Right? You put something in, you get something out.
That's right.
In, out, in,
In,
out.
out.
There you go.
So I'm glad you talked about organizations. We got like 5 minutes left. Can you please tell us, you mentioned NARAB for our listeners and watchers. What is NARAB?
NARAB is the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, okay? It is the oldest. It is the oldest minority trade association in the United States, okay? And we've been around since 1947. And our whole goal and mantra was to make sure that African Americans had a fair opportunity to purchase homes. Because what we do know, that home ownership creates generational wealth, okay? I still get deeds up and down Livernois. It says, do not sell to a Negro.
In the
It's the
city
chain
of Detroit?
in the city of Detroit, but it's the chain. It's the chain of title. You're gonna see it on old deeds. So when you get those old deeds from title search that you're getting done on a property that you're getting ready to put on the market or you're getting ready to sell, you will see those deeds surface.
Have you ever made a copy of one of those just to have?
I got it in my file still.
Wow.
I still have it in my file, you know what I'm saying? But
Wow.
now look at
That's a piece
us.
of
But
history.
now look at
Yes.
us.
Look
The
at
whole
us.
Avenue of Fashion is the largest strip in the United States of African American business owners.
Yes. Say
The
that
largest
again.
strip.
Yes.
The largest strip of African American business owners in the United
Right
States.
here in Detroit,
Right in
Michigan.
Detroit, Michigan. So I say that everyone who's listening to this call, start patronizing the Avenue of Fashion and
Yes.
all the other black businesses in the city of Detroit. Because what we have worked so hard for to make sure that we create generational wealth, we
Yes.
must keep that generational wealth alive. And the
Yep.
only way that we do that is support one another.
Absolutely. Real quick, how can people contact you in Four Seasons?
Well, you can contact me at. I'm gonna give you my cell phone number. Okay, that's the quickest way because my email address will be just blowed up, and I don't want to ignore anyone. But at least you leave a message or you text me or something. My phone number is 313-215-5686. Once again, that's 313-215-5686.
And then on our last 3 minutes, Greater Detroit Realtors Association. You're the past president. And like I
Yes.
said, like you said, under your tenure, that's what brought UDC in. And so you're teaching and helping other people to not just become homeowners and pass down generational wealth, but to
To
also become developers
become
as well.
developers as well.
Please talk about your tenure and talk about Gidra.
Let me tell you, my tenure was phenomenal. Okay, we were supposed to have the national conference here in 2020. Of course, we had COVID, so we
COVID.
didn't get a chance to do that. Of course, I helped and assist and made sure that I built the membership up to about 125, 130 members, which we were down at one point to like probably 25 or 30 members. Okay, so I
Wow.
was very instrumental in making sure that I built the organization. I was instrumental on making sure that we had a visibility in the city of Detroit as an organization because we used to be in Oakland County beforehand, and so the visibility wasn't there. There was two other presidents before me to bring in that visibility, but it didn't get there just yet, right? So I made sure that I was a part of any and everything that happened in the city of Detroit. That's how I got my seat on Detroit Land Bank as well, okay? By being instrumental out in the community and making sure that I was networking, letting everybody know about Greater Detroit Realtors Association and the great things that we're doing in the community, helping black home ownership and partnering with all our different lenders from the title companies to the banks to whomever there is who's going to help and assist and have the same vision and goals and mission that we have as an organization on creating black wealth. Okay, so that was our whole goal. But we did it very successfully, and I was able to pass the torch on to my vice president, who also became the president after that. So once again, I mean, I would like to thank you though for doing all that you do. I mean, you are the bad boss woman. Okay, now I just got to give
Thank
some
you.
kudos to you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
single mom and just been rocking it out and has your daughter's very educated and you're staying on her, making sure that she gets every inch of knowledge that you have, even about your business. You're doing it. I understand. And I appreciate you for passing that on to her because guess what? We're going to have another leader out here just
Amen.
like you.
God willing. Thank you so much, Miranda. Thank you for Seasons. Thank you for being here. This interview meant so much to me, and I hope people got inspired and got as much out of it as I did because I had a ball. Thank you so much, Detroit. We want to thank our sponsors, and we're going to take us out with our music. WJZZ Cool TV. Hey.
Yeah, I got a whole lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah, we got to do a part two. I said that.